Hello, family. Welcome to another thrilling episode of the Digest for the Man Chinekome. We know it's Pink October, as you can see our nurse here in her um, pink shirt. Yes, like we are talking about breast cancer. So today I have here with me Miss
Rosina Mwako.
Rosina Mwako,
Yes, please.
and she's a nurse at the Dampong Hospital.
Yeah.
You are welcome to the Digest Pod.
Thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure. It's our pleasure.
Okay.
So we've been hearing cancer, breast cancer here and there. Can you delve into that for us?
Okay, so breast cancer, it's a lump that is found in the breast, a cancerous lump found in the breast. Yes, that is basically what breast cancer is.
Breast cancer.
Yeah.
But we know when it comes to cancer, cancer spreads through the body.
Yes.
Does breast cancer also spread
Yes.
through
Yes.
the
It
system?
starts small and then grows. Cancer grows. So whether it is the brain, it is the heart, it is whatever, breast cancer also grows and then spread through the breast.
Okay, so let's look at the lump.
Okay.
How is it? Can you give us?
Okay, so for a normal breast, you already have loops and things in it. But then when you examine yourself regularly, you will observe that those things move. The things in your breast, they move. Like when you want to press and then it stays, it doesn't stay. But then the cancerous lump is very hard, like the bean seed, the uncooked one.
Oh, okay.
And then it's just at one place. Normally, it's not painful. Most of the time, it's not painful. So you may think that it's just one of them, but then you have to know that it doesn't move. It's just at one place. So like, yes, that's the difference between the normal lobes and then the cancerous lump.
Let me be a devil's advocate here. I mean, sometimes your testicles, let me put that way, like, they are how they move.
Yes,
probably
it doesn't stay at one
like
place.
the breast,
Exactly.
So like the things in the loose in the breast also moves just like.
Yes,
God
exactly.
is wonderful. So, like you're saying, I mean, the lump gets there and then it starts growing over a period of time. Now, before we delve into the stages, now let's look at the causes. What are the causes? Yes.
Okay, so as it stands, we don't really know the cause for that, like fibroid. We don't really know the cause for that.
Oh, okay.
But then we have tried to sit and then observe things. We realize that most of the time, family background, genetic.
Oh, okay.
So from grandma to mother to... So before you come, we ask you, do you have any history of cancer in the family? And then sometimes lifestyle, how we keep ourselves, how many times we wear one brassiere and all that. There's supposed to be air passing through. So when you get home, you're supposed to take it off.
So free the teeth.
Yeah.
Free the teeth. Look at the lifestyle. Can you also say that unhealthy living,
Right.
probably like you rightly said, wearing one brassiere.
Yes, not washing the brassiere, not keeping yourself clean. I mean, it needs to be clean also. Bathing twice daily. And then you have to be careful of the pomade you use too. You have to observe those things as well.
Cosmetics.
Yes, yes.
Maybe it has effect on our system.
Yes, you know there are pores in the system, on our skin, so it goes inside. So you have to be careful of those. Yeah.
And it's a hard nut. It's a hard nut. Now let's look at the stages. We know with cancer in general, there are stages. Like likewise, breast cancer also.
Yes.
So what are the stages?
Okay, so there's a first phase. Those are just the normal one. You can just be on medication and you are okay. And then the advanced stage too, where you may have to go for the cutting. Yeah. And then if you are not able to detect it early, you may die. That's the advanced stage.
Advanced. Yeah. Okay. So for my knowledge in cancer, when it comes to cancer, I know that's, like you rightly said, the first stage can be, let's in quotes, curable.
Yeah.
That when it's detected early, you can, cure it. Go through your medications and then cure it.
Yeah.
But from 3, the later
Yes. Those ones you may have to go under the knife.
So that's where you get one of your bra off.
Gone.
And then it's still like.
But it's people are living without breasts too. Yes, no breast, no, like nothing. Some are also having just one, and they are there. Nothing is happening.
That if one is off, the other one doesn't function.
Oh, it will function.
Functions properly.
Yes, but you have to make sure that you try and go to do your scans. If you're above 40, you do your mammogram and try to be observing it.
Oh, okay. Since you mentioned the mammogram, now let's look at the treatment processes.
Okay. So first of all, we have something called a chemotherapy.
Like chemotherapy.
Yeah, a chemotherapy, which is medication you'll be on. That's yes. And then the mammogram is also a machine you have to go under to, treat you. To be able to also know the right medication to give you. Yeah.
For the chemotherapy, I know these are huge words, like these are huge scientific terms.
Okay, so chemo is like going through some form of treatment. So a medication you'll be given to, like ritual, will give you HIV. You'll be given a medication to be on. Yes, so it's the same as a chemo.
So for what I know about the chemo is that it's a treatment that makes you sick itself. Like it suppresses the cells, like those cancerous cells, and then I think it makes you lose your hair. Sometimes.
Yes.
It makes you,
there are other complications.
I guess one person share his experience with chemo, and I mean
it's sad how sometimes it reacts.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. So, but then everything is you have to really take care of yourself well. Yeah.
So all this boils down to hygiene.
Right.
If I would say hygiene. Now let's look at the diagnosis process.
Right.
I know before you can detect if you have to go through either personal diagnosis or you have to go through a machine
or scan.
So can you take us through?
Okay, so first of all, you can actually diagnose yourself at home by examining yourself, standing in the mirror, looking. First of all, you don't just touch your breasts. When you stand in the mirror, you have to observe your breasts. First of all, observe the color of your breasts.
Color?
Yes, of your breasts. Then you check your nipple. Is it inside or is outside?
Sometimes people
naturally have
the inside one.
Yes. So then you check your breasts. Sometimes when your breast is being infected, it looks like the orange. You know how it's inside, there are a lot of big pores. So you check that one, if already your breast is there. But if it's not in and it's out, but then you realize that it's going in, then you'll be able to diagnose yourself.
It's taking an unusual shape.
Right. So the shape, every breast is not the same.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it's a slight difference. One is bigger than the other. But then when you observe and one looks like extremely bigger than the other, and it's a call for.
It should prompt you that there's a problem.
Yes. So after observing all of this, then you go and examine the breast. So after doing everything, you don't find that hard thing that is not movable. You press the nipple to see if there will be a discharge. Sometimes we have a normal discharge, like it's very plain like the water.
Oh, okay.
It's normal.
So that is, I want you to echo that part for us.
So, so that discharge, we have one that is plain like water, that one is normal. If you are breastfeeding, you know it is white. So even when you are breastfeeding, you don't examine yourself.
Oh, okay.
Yes, after breastfeeding. And then apart from that, I have seen a black discharge before. I've seen a yellow, a brown one. So when you press the nipple, not the tip, but the areola, the black part, that's where you press. Okay. So when you press and they are discharged, you have to, pay attention and then move to the next level. And then we have the scan.
Please, before you move on to the scan,
Okay.
I want us now, let's look at the self diagnosis, right? Because like I said, they have to press.
Yes.
Some people will just go and just
Yes.
press.
So there's a way of doing it. You go in a circular motion. You can use 4 fingers or 3.
Okay.
So then you press this way, and then like you're drawing a quill. And so you go round this way in a circular motion. So you get to the nipple. Then you press the areola, the black part, the big black part. You press there. So that's how it is done. I don't know if I'm doing it right.
Okay. So let's look at the machine. I mean, there.
Yes. So then, if you're not seeing anything, or maybe you see something, and you want to go to the hospital, first of all, we make you do a breast scan. That's you expose your breast, and then they use a probe to look for it. This time it's not your hands. It's a probe.
Okay.
Like a stick for scan. Yes, okay. That's what they use in detecting if whatever you have found is cancerous. And then they proceed to the mammogram. So the mammogram is also another machine that you put your breast in. Yes, to detect how bad the cancer is.
So can someone just say, okay, probably I'm scared of self-diagnosis, so today I'm just going to hospital to
people are even scared of rather coming to the hospital. People come in. When we met someone, she was so scared. We had to talk before we did the examination. It was scary. It was scary. Some people come to the hospital with BP. We don't have BP. When it gets there, then it goes high because we are just scared. It goes scary at all. We're just using our hands to find out. If you don't have anything, it's fine. Most people don't have anything. So we can come and get the check.
So she's saying from the nurse, come and check. Because for me, I've gotten to know my system to some extent. So anytime I observe any unusual thing, I try to, in as much as I know there will be some form of, like they say, stigmatization.
Yes.
Does stigma really happen in the hospital? Because I'm sure that's why most people are scared to come to the hospital.
Not at all. There's something we call confidentiality. It is me and you. When you come to the hospital, it's not all of us are going to do it for you. It's just you and an nurse. Yes, for example, it's just you and a nurse, or you and a midwife. Whatever happens there, happens there. It doesn't go out. So there's nothing like that.
So that is, if you go and tell somebody,
then that is you.
Somebody and they will know you have it. But like we are saying, early detection saves life.
Yeah.
So you should come early to detect, have a proper diagnosis of what's actually wrong with your system. My guys were saying I should ask. My guys were saying it's part of the misconception. Okay, that you should suck breast, and then the guys should also press it. I know some people just go straight to the point, hold it, and then start pressing.
Sometimes when I'm later in press, it's painful. Yes, so please, let's not press like that. Watching cuckoo and Okay, so men sucking breast or pressing doesn't really cure it, or it doesn't prevent it. The only thing it does is, once your man is sucking, I'm sure that your man knows how your breast is. So when there's any change, you'll be able to know it faster. Or if there's any discharge, you'll be able to, detect it faster. But for men, pressing it, sucking doesn't prevent you from getting it. The only thing is that because you have been doing it, you will know that there's something happening. There's a change in the breast. There's this fluid coming out. So that is the only part the men help us with. Other than that, if you get cancer, you get cancer.
So what advice would you give to our gentlemen?
Okay, so I will advise that while sucking and whilst pressing, whilst holding, massaging it, observe it. Observe. Try to see if while you're sucking there's something coming out or not. Whilst you're holding,
Is it normal? Like the ones many times you have been holding it? Yes, that's the only way you can help yourself.
Thank you.
Please don't be pressing fin. You have cocoa. Take your time. Observe the woman and then know, I mean, her system.
Yeah.
That's one. So, wrapping up, what would you tell?
There's one more thing
I would want to add up. So today during the screening,
we got about 3 people who were breastfeeding and they came.
Okay.
Please, when you're breastfeeding, you don't do, because at that time there are a lot of loops that come than the regular because of the breast milk. So you develop a lot of loops than regular. So you don't examine. If you try to examine, you press your nipple, you splash the milk all over. I've experienced that before. I stopped. And then secondly, when you're in your menses, you don't also do. You don't examine your breast. When you're ovulating, some people already have a painful ovulation. When they are ovulating, their breasts tend to pain them. They have a tender breast. So you don't check when you're ovulating. You don't check when you're in your menses. And you don't check when you're breastfeeding. So you can only check after maybe 3 days after your menses. So you can check.
So this, like I said, the digest board was the picture. Get this anywhere. Only the digest board. That is it. Please, your final word.
Okay, so I will tell my ladies out there. And then, men can also get cancer, the breast cancer. But then it is 1 in 100. It doesn't really happen. So it doesn't mean that it's just for we, the women. It's for all of us.
You can also contract breast cancer. So I believe it's just like you said, what happens to the ladies is the same thing that happens to the guys as well.
Yeah.
So to my guys, especially those who are tall,
Some men have breasts.
Yeah. So it's advisable that both, the guys and the ladies should all go for a regular checkup to know what's up with that system.
So I would just advise that we try and be doing it at home. We should try and be examining ourselves at home. When you're going to bath, you can do it. You can stand in front of a mirror. Or you can use oil, maybe oil or any type, anointing oil, if you want cooking oil. But you can use oil which will make it smooth. And then use it to, examine yourself regular at home. When you do it regularly at home, you will know that there's a difference in your breast.
You mentioned anointing oil. Someone might think the anointing oil will eventually kill it.
It's just for, there's a friction. The palm is dry, the skin is dry. So when you use the oil, it makes it smooth, so you can go through it well.
Thank you for joining us in the Digest Board.
Thank you for having me.
I'm very much grateful.
Oh.
This has been the Digest Board with the man, Chinekobe. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and like I always say, this is a conversation and not just an interview. You can also have your discussion in the comment section below. Tell us what's on your mind. You can ask any questions and then we'll come back again to answer those questions for you. Stick and stay.